On my memo tonight, the words, all are equal before the law, come to mind. But recent events in this country have made me believe that there must be some who are more equal than others. Earlier this week, Chief Justice David Maraga called out President Uhuru Kenyatta and the executive for disobeying not one, but two court orders on the appointment of 41 judges and by extension, violating the rights of millions of Kenyans seeking help in the corridors of justice. To show the gravity of the matter, the CJ said that any person filing a land case now will have to wait until 2022 for their case to be heard because of the huge backlog of cases versus the few judges to hear them. The judge's issue is just one instance of the executive disobeying court orders. Here's a short trip down memory lane. In February 2018, the court ordered the Communication Authority of Kenya to restore live transmission of 3 media houses: Citizen TV, KTN News and NTV. The TV stations had been switched off after airing Raila Odinga's mock swearing-in at Uhuru Park. Justice Chacha Mwita said that the respondents, that is the Communications Authority, and CS's Joe Musheru and Fred Matiang'i, could not be allowed to disobey court orders or pick and choose when to comply. Still in 2018, in the case against Miguna, the then Inspector General of Police, Joseph Boynet, was ordered to release him on a bond of 50,000 shillings. On February 6th, Justice Kimaru ordered the DCI to produce Miguna in court. He was not produced in court, and we all know what happened thereafter. He was forcibly ejected from the country and has been unable to return since that time. That same year, the Director General of the Communications Authority too became a victim of this defiance. Francis Wangusi had been barred from entering his office despite getting a court order that lifted his suspension. In 2016, Justice Mativo sentenced 5 PSs to civil jail for contempt of court for disobeying court orders. The 5 from Ministries of Transport and Lands had been ordered to pay Wilson Kamau Maina close to 350,000 shillings in compensation for injuries to his mother. And even more recently, last month, the government evicted over 1,000 people from a piece of land in Kariobangi despite a court order barring it. What am I saying? The list of such instances is longer. Much longer than we have time for tonight. But what worries me is the revelation by CJ Maraga that disobedience of court decrees by the government has amounted to approximately 1 billion shillings. This means that many Kenyans who have been seeking compensation from the government, such as accident victims and those that involved land disputes, among others, have failed to get any reprieve from the court because the executive has failed to act on orders given. In short, serikali imekataa kulipa na Wakenya wamenyimwa haki yao. According to Maraga, it is a mockery for the president and his government to demand that citizens obey its laws when the very executive is disobeying the law and the courts. The simple fact is that if you're looking for fairness, you must grant fairness. If you want justice, you must be just to others. If the executive wants compliance to court orders by citizens, it must comply with the said orders. No part of government is exempted from obedience of the laws and court orders. And if the president leads in defying court orders, how will he expect ordinary people to respect and comply with his own directives as head of state? It is commendable that the president has lately been talking about opening a new chapter in the country's history. But just talking will not do. He must now walk the court. Walk the talk. For the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, "An ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching." And that is my memo.